Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Friday, May 16th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 3 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. When it comes to the spirit animal, we have the elephant energy in the upright position. And the elephant energy brings me to memory. It brings me to commitment. It brings me to a journey. The elephant energy also brings me to the thought of, having a marathon mindset when it comes to something, because I think of I think of the elephant and spiritual wisdom, but I think of when you look at the card, that you could see that the elephant has been through a lot and is carrying a flame. And with the stone on the third eye, to me, it's like intuitively being guided to carry something. And from being intuitively guided to carry something, the flame to me will bring me to the passion and the part of the elephant that, is broken off, that has been through stuff, to me reflects the age, reflects challenges that come along the way. When I think of looking at this card in this moment and the energies within today, it brings me to the thought of when the Creator puts something in us, puts a calling in us. When we wake up to the calling that is within us, it's like, regardless of what you go through along the way, nothing will break you, and everything you need will always be there to support you along the way. It's like, that's what I'm getting from the elephant, because the stone would bring me to being intuitively guided. The fire will bring me to carrying this passion, carrying this flame. And then, like I said, everything else brings me to the challenges that come along the way. And, when it comes to today's energy, there's something around having faith and trusting that in this moment, everything is working for you, regardless of how it seems. Trust that everything is working for you. And what helped me to get to the point where, I legit stopped worrying, since I shared it with you. When I heard someone say something, when I heard someone say they only worry about the things they don't trust the Creator with. When I said that, it's like things just clicked for me. It's like, if I trust the Creator and I trust that, I am where I'm supposed to be, then why should I worry? In this moment, everything that I need is taken care of. And in the next moment, everything that I need is taken care of. And most of the time when we worry is because we're looking so far out into the future, and don't get distracted by what's in the future. And I think about how they'll say, we experience anxiety when we look back, and we experience fear when we look forward. I don't remember the exact words, but when we're looking back and when we're looking too far into the future, that's when we'll find ourselves feeling uncomfortable and have a hard time trusting. And when it comes to today's energy, it brings me to the importance of bringing yourself back to the moment, because it's whenever we're out of the present moment is when we go through the doubts and we question, are we on the right path? Should I be doing something else? Should I be doing that? Should I be doing this? And it's like, no, you have to trust. And thinking about all that brings me to someone leaving a question about how do we build our relationship with the Creator. And for me, building my relationship with the Creator looks like building my relationship with myself, because the Creator is me. The Creator is in me. We are we are the creators. We are co-creators, yes, but the creator is within all of us. So for me, building a relationship with the creator is building a relationship with myself. And when I think about building a relationship with myself and a healthy relationship with myself, for me, it first starts with my vessel. And it's me taking care of my vessel, taking care of this vehicle that I was given to, use to maneuver through this life. And for me, taking care of my vehicle looks like me eating things and consuming things and only putting things in it that helps it to thrive. And I know that could be easier said than done when most of us have been conditioned to eat a certain way or accustomed to eat a certain way, whether it's through tradition or bonding or whatnot. And we have to unlearn all of that. But for me, it goes to respecting my vessel and putting things in it that helps it to thrive. But then not even just that, I need to hear when my intuition is speaking to me. And I feel like the creator speaks to me through my intuition. So building a relationship with myself and my intuition is building a relationship with the creator. And for me, that looks like me eating things that helps me to thrive, because whenever I don't eat foods that help me to thrive, they go against me. And this is where some of us could find ourselves because of overstimulation. We're not sleeping at night. And over a period of time of staying up late and not being disciplined and getting to bed early, then our body is giving off all these different kind of symptoms to show that it's out of balance. And then we start to experience anxiety within our body. And some people will call an anxiety a psychic attack when they're not eating properly and they're not getting enough rest at night. And it's like, how is the creator supposed to properly communicate when the body is sending mixed signals to the mind and we're thinking we're under psychic attack, when really the body is saying that, it needs balance or it's nutrient deficient because we're consuming certain foods that's causing us to leak out the good nutrients that we need. And then we're not sleeping at night. And then we're consuming junk food content that, is messing with our minds and causing us to be in a state of fear. So for me, building a relationship with the creator first starts with me eating foods that help my body to thrive, eating foods that help me to be able to clearly communicate with my intuition, know when my intuition is communicating with me opposed to my mind. And for me, I can tell when it's my intuition, because my intuition it's not loud, it's not forceful, but there's no emotion connected to it. It's almost like this knowing comes over me and there's like a magnetic pull, maybe a slight pull with the knowing. So it's almost like feeling my body energetically pull in a certain direction combined with the knowing. For me, is how my intuition is how my intuition, or one way my intuition communicate with me. Because another way might be I smell something and the smell is connected with a certain memory, and that's preparing me for something that's going to cross my path. I might smell a person coming, or I'm watching something and I hear what is said, but instead another part of what is said is highlighted more than all of what is said. And that's letting me know something too. And for me, journaling will help us to, build up strengthen our intuition. And the more we strengthen our intuition, we strengthen our connection with the creator. And for me, I need to be able to hear when my intuition, or know when my intuition is speaking to me, because when my intuition guides me to do something, I'm going to trust it and follow. And there are other times in the past, when my intuition told me to do something, maybe it was to walk away from something. Maybe it was to, my intuition instructed me to do something and I didn't do it, and I noticed consequences. And I feel like you want to keep a journal and recognize things like that. Make mental notes of your intuition told you about the connection. Your intuition told you about this, that, or the next. And write it down. My intuition told me XYZ and I didn't listen, and this was the outcome. And over time, you'll recognize that feeling again. And it's like, oh, that's familiar. It's my intuition. And you might not listen again. And then boom, things didn't work out. But maybe the third or the fourth or the fifth time you listen, and it's like, oh my goodness, I listened and I'm rewarded. And you just make an effort to try to listen until you're clear as to what your intuition sounds like. And for me, journaling really helps me with that. Journaling helps me to write down, journaling helps me to keep track of what I'm experiencing and not have to worry about judgment, who's going to judge or misunderstand me. But for me, when it comes to building my relationship with the Creator, it first starts with building my intuition, building a relationship with myself, being able to trust my intuition, because, you know, the Creator speaks to me through my intuition. So once I'm able to hear my intuition and trust my intuition, for me, that's me building my relationship with the Creator. And also too, for me, when it comes to my relationship with the Creator, I personally believe that life is working for me, and it's always working for me, regardless of how things will feel. So for me, when good things happen in my life, I give God praise. Like I get excited and I'm like, oh God, thank you. Or I might be reflecting on where I am. Like when you think about your situation and where you are, like, would you want to trade places with where you are today and who you were a year ago or 6 months ago? More than likely, no. So we're all growing in some way. And I always give the Creator, give God thanks for guiding me, supporting me, and helping me to get to where I am. So even reflecting on things like that gets me emotional and I get excited. So for me, when it comes to strengthening my intuition with the Creator, it's making sure my intuition is clear and I can trust it. And then gratitude, just being grateful for the littlest thing and everything, and making a big deal about every little thing that happens and how life is working for me. For me, through being clear when it comes to my intuition, and that's through eating well, journaling, getting sleep, and taking care of my body. And then gratitude, for me, that's a good place to start when it comes to strengthening my relationship with the Creator. I feel like that's a good place to start, because say yesterday I was watching I was on some social media platform, and this lady was saying how before going to sleep she affirmed something, and when she wake up she affirmed something else, and it was able to change her life in a certain way. And I went to sleep and I did it. And while I was sleeping, I had a dream that food was presented to me, and the food looked like food I would eat. But then when I looked closer, there were things within it that I wouldn't eat. And right then and there, my intuition was telling me that this thing that I was copying that I saw on social media is not for me. The thing that she's affirming and telling other people to affirm to get a certain outcome, that's not a path that I should be on. Because my dreams communicate with me, where it's like, yes, there are books and videos on what things mean within dreams, but I have developed my own relationship with myself through keeping record, through journaling, and just questioning, what does food mean to me? Food for me is substance. And there's some food that I eat, and some things that others consider food is not food for me. And food is information. There's some kind of information that is food for certain people and a form of entertainment, and that might not be food for me. So if ever I have a dream where maybe I'm crossing paths with someone and they're dogging out some junk food and they're trying to give me some, that's my dream showing me that they love to get lost in junk food kind of information. And that could cause me to, that's bad for my health. That's not for me. They thrive on that, but that's not for me. So with my dream showing me this food, immediately I knew that, I don't need to continue doing this affirmation that I was told to do, because though it might work for her, it's not for me. So, we build a relationship with the Creator by first building a relationship with ourselves. And I feel like we want to start with the basics, start with eating well, start with getting good sleep at night, and start with being very selective when it comes to the information that you're consuming. Pay attention to, sometimes how we're addicted to negative information, negative news, because it helps us to not feel alone within our situation. And we need to, work on not entertaining things that speak against the things that we want. Where if you're someone who wants love and happiness and, and great relationships, then you don't want to entertain content and information where people are speaking negatively about relationships and connections. Because yes, while there could be certain bad people in the world and certain people are crossing paths with them, that's not going to be everyone's experience. That's not going to be everyone's story. And people's experience are going to have a lot to do with their frequency and what they're attracting. So it's important for us to support things that supports our reality. So when it comes to today's energy and looking at the elephant, to me, it's being guided, and trust that we're being guided. And with today adding up and reducing to number 3 vibration, I think of how the number 3 energy could be one that is like a restless child. And for some of us, it could cause us to want to jump ship too early when it comes too early in our journey, and jump ship because of boredom. And with the day being the 16th, 1 plus 6 is 7, the number 6 could cause us to want to jump ship because we look around and what they're doing over there seems a little bit more interesting, or what they're doing career-wise seems more celebrated, or their goals seem more popular because more people are giving them positive feedback. So a day like today, some of us could find ourselves wanting to jump ship or change direction or change course when it comes to something, only because we're distracted by what someone else is doing. And in yesterday's message, I mentioned the importance of redefining success for yourself. And I feel like that's something that needs to be done often, like a car getting an oil change often to keep the engine going. We often need to reflect within ourselves and, redefine success for ourselves on a regular basis, because we're constantly changing. But with the day being the 16th, 1 plus 6 is 7, and all 7s aren't always created equal. So with the number 7 being present, with today being the 16th, a lot of us will find ourselves inside ourselves trying to find truth, but it's more than likely going to be about some material thing. It's not like, say, the number 7 that dives into this, want to understand things on a spiritual level. Today, instead, we could find, especially with today being Friday ruled by Venusian energy, instead we could find ourselves, scrolling through something where you're putting things in the shopping cart, things that will complete you in some way. You're putting things in a shopping cart even though you might not really buy them. Or you're scrolling through something that would advance you or make you better in some way, or diving through social media and what the celebrities or the stars are doing or whatnot. But either way, for some of us, there could be big focus on the material side of things. And more than likely, it's influence based on what someone else is doing. And it seems like they're winning because of, the recognition or the attention that they're getting around that. And for those of us who are past that space, we could just be inside of ourselves, reflecting deeply on, something within ourselves on a spiritual level, trying to evolve by understanding ourselves deeper pertaining to a thing. And today the moon is in Capricorn, and with the moon in Capricorn, the moon being in Capricorn to me fits the 6th aspect of the day, with the day being the 16th, because Capricorn, like the number 6 energy, has a lot to do with the material side of society. And Capricorn, like the number 6 energy, has a lot to do with, success and recognition. And with the moon in Capricorn, for some of us, we could forget that, we don't have the ability to respond to certain things. And because we forget that, we want to take on responsibility that isn't in alignment with our truth, where later we'll only disappoint ourselves because we probably won't be able to follow through. Or if we follow through with the thing, we'll find ourselves being miserable because that wasn't for us to begin with. And with moon in Capricorn positively speaking to Mercury in Taurus, it's like what I said in a past video when I was speaking about moon in Virgo positively speaking to, maybe it was a sun in Taurus or something of that. And with the earth energy speaking positively together, Mercury, the mind in Taurus energy, and Mercury, the mind in Taurus energy is focused on comfort, is focused on familiarity, is focused on stability. And Capricorn energy is one that deals with seniority. So this is a day where some of us who are on our own unique path, and one that is unorthodox, untraditional, we're going with the beat of our own drum, and our intuition is guiding us as we're carrying this flame. Today could be a day where, something crosses our minds to get off the path and instead go a safer route, A safer route, meaning a more traditional, familiar route. Because I look at the moon and Capricorn squaring Neptune and Venus in Aries. And it's like, it's hard for us to trust ourselves and put ourselves first. So if that's something that you're dealing with today, recognize that, when it comes to say, numerology, astrology, and just energy on the whole, for me, what I love about checking in with the energies of the day, and I've done this for years before I started making videos of it, where I'll get up and notice I'm feeling certain things, and I'll look to see where the moon is, where the planets are, and whatnot. Because a lot of the times there could just be a certain essence in the day, and we could get lost in that energy and think that that's our energy, when really it's just the overall energy. To me, it's almost as if the planets and the different astrological bodies, it's almost as if they are like puppets. They're like strings, and we're puppeteers, and they're pulling on us and guiding us in different ways. Where with Moon and Capricorn positively speaking to Mercury and Taurus, is like that energy will pull us in a direction. And for some of us, it'll pull us away from our truth. And because that energy is pulling us, we'll think that's our truth, when really that's not our truth. That's just the current energy in the air. Like, it brings me to one day when I was on my yoga mat recently, and I woke up and I felt this sadness within me. And I'm like, why am I sad? This is good in my life. That's good in my life. Like, in this moment, there's nothing for me to be sad about. And then I said to myself out loud, why am I making myself sad for no reason? And it's almost like me saying it out loud brought awareness to like an energy. It's almost like energy sometimes could be a living, and maybe it is a living entity that could feed on you until you realize that it's feeding on you. And once you turn the light on, it has to go away. And it's like, when I said that, it's almost like I felt the energy just leave me. So being on this journey has taught me that, yes, we all have free will. Like, we'll hear, oh, we have free will, we have free will. But for me, being on this journey has taught me that, yes, we all have free will, but you can't practice free will without self-awareness. And for me, that's why I say self-awareness is a superpower, because when we become aware of ourselves, we can recognize certain energies that are pulling on us and pulling us in certain directions. And just from our awareness, we could stand our ground and be clear on the direction that we want to move in. And, like I was sharing while I'm sitting on the yoga mat, I'm feeling this sadness, and I'm like, why am I sad? Like, is there a reason for this sadness? And I'm searching myself, and I'm searching my experiences the day before, and there's no genuine reason for the sadness. And when I ask myself, why am I making myself sad for no reason? It's like the energy just left me, because I brought light to it. I brought attention to it by being aware of it. That's why, self-awareness is a superpower. And it left me, where if I wasn't aware and the sadness came over me, but I just, got lost in it, I'm sure at some point I would have found a reason to justify that sadness. And then it would have became a reality, as I would have probably, go down memory lane about something, or, something would have justified that energy. When it comes to, we have Knight of Wands energy come out in the reversal position. So Knight of Wands energy coming out in the reversal position brings me to the card, and the thought is hold your horses. Because like I said, I feel like today some of us could find ourselves wanting to jump ship when it comes to something, or, wanting to jump ship. And it's like, challenge yourself to be still. And yes, self-awareness is a superpower. I remember for years, I would keep getting distracted with different callings and ideas and things of that nature. And when it was clear to me, the things that I didn't want to do anymore and what it is that I wanted to venture in, it felt good when, say, clients would bring business opportunities to me. Let's pause for a bit. I am proud of the services that I offer and excited to tell you about them. If it would be your first time booking with me, then I recommend the natal chart and numerology awareness coaching session. For a while, that was the only service I offered, along with the 30-minute tarot reading, which is still available if you're interested. I noticed the pattern. At the end of the natal chart and numerology coaching sessions, some of you would ask me for a follow-up service options for additional clarity and guidance to assist you with whatever you're going through at the moment. I kept saying, I'll look into it. I don't know why it took me so long. Finally, I have created that option along with the service option to book a solar return chart reading for those of you who are strategic and like to plan ahead. Everything you need to know is within the description box below. Let's get back into the video. Like, a client brought Mary Kay idea to me when I had the salon, and it would have been perfect for me to sell Mary Kay because I had customers coming in who trusted my opinion when it came to beauty. So I could have easily sold them products that I believed in, but I knew that I didn't want to get deeper into that industry. I'm looking for a way out where if I didn't get to the point where I was clear about me and what I wanted, like a day like today, with the day being the 16th, I would have easily got caught up in someone else's goal or someone else's plan for me. But because of my awareness of self, I was already clear that I don't want to go that way anymore. I'm looking to go that way. So today's one of those days where, you have to, be clear on your goals and what's important to you. Because today is one of those days where it's so easy to get pulled in a direction that feels safe, in a direction that feels secure, or in a direction that will bring you attention because it's, a glamorous calling, one of those callings that's socially celebrated. And, it comes down to the importance of trusting our intuition and building that relationship with the creator. And like I said in the beginning of the videos, ways how to build your relationship with your intuition, yourself, and the creator. To me, if a person just starts there and build on those, then they'll be clear as to what else they need to do to build their relationship with the creator, with their self. Pleasure sharing this message with you. Before you go anywhere, drop me a yellow heart in the comment box below. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.